annual operating plan is something critical for every business. And the best way to do this is to do it on an annual basis. Take a whole year to come up with it.
And a special thank you to our sponsor for this episode, Oswego Private Wealth Management. Welcome to another $4 Million Strategies. Today we have Bill Canady, the author of the 80/20 CEO. Bill, today our topic is how to create a great annual operating plan. We have 4 minutes. Share us your best practices and how to get that done.
Yeah, absolutely. So annual operating plan is something critical for every business. And the best way to do this is to do it on an annual basis. Take a whole year to come up with it. Now, you'll start wherever you are. And if you look at my book called The 80/20 CEO, it's called The 4 Steps to Taking Command of Your Business, right? In 100 days. This is actually your AOP. It's just in a shortened fashion. So let's go with step number 1. Step number 1 you want to do is you want to do a situation assessment. And all that is you're looking where you are right now. What has changed when you look in your rearview mirror that you think you may want to do at that point, right? What you're going to do next year. You take that, you sit down with your team and you have a conversation about it. From there, pick 2 to 3 things. Generally, that's in Q4 of the year. Start wherever you are, but think of it as the last quarter of the year. Now you're setting in Q1 of the coming year, the year that you're going to put the plan into effect, right? So this one, you take what you came out of your situation assessment, your 2 or 3 items, and you create a framework. A framework is nothing more than an outline. Here, you may wind up spending just a little bit of money, but you're going to go start to prove your ideas, and you're going to come out with this outline of here's where I want to play. Here's what I think I need to play. Here's what I'll get my payback looks like for it, right? Out of that, you've got that going through your first quarter. Now you're in Q2, right? The third part is you've got to create your business plan. And business plan is putting all the numbers and filling in all the details you didn't have out of your framework. So you got your outline, you go through and you said, I'm going to go to this market. How big is that market? Put it in that plan. I'm going to get this kind of payback. Do your schedule with it. Do the income statement. Do the balance sheet. So do your P&L that you have across it all. Now you're setting in June. So what have you got? You've got a plan that details what you're going to go do. You know exactly where it's going to be at. And you know what you have to have for the investment. From that, that's going to take and give you your annual budget, the operating plan for that. That's around June or July. As you go into August, into your board meeting where you got to deliver that, once that's signed off, you take that, you give that to your staff. They should action it out. They should write an action plan, a detailed plan. If it's 10 lines long, it's too shallow. If it's 1,000 lines long, it's too much. Somewhere in the middle, you've got that. What you do is immediately pivot and go do your situation assessment again because you got to get ready for next year. There's your AOP in a nutshell.
Okay, what is the biggest common pitfall you've found when people are working on their AOP? We've got 1 minute left.
There's 2 things that people really fail on. One is they try to do it all themselves. I could write an AOP in minutes. I tell you, no one will believe me, right? The team actually has to do the work because they got to pressure test it. Once you start, get the team involved and make them do the work. Make sure it goes down. Because when you get to that final step, they're the ones that actually write out the things that are going to happen. They're the one that tells you how many people you got to hire and where they're going to go, right? So that's your most important piece of it, right? The final piece of it is you make it it's like impossible. It's either boring and it doesn't work. It's GDP, or it's so aspirational, no one believes it. Make sure you got ownership of this plan. Make sure people are excited. Make sure people want to go do that because that's what's going to happen.
That's excellent advice, Bill. Thank you so much for sharing best practices on doing an annual operating plan.
My pleasure. Thanks again, Carl.